Well, good morning everyone. Welcome to yoga. My name's Caitlin. I'll be guiding you through class today. We are sitting outside. We've taken our class outdoors today. I am in a training this weekend and for part of next week. So this is a pre-recording, but I hope to still feel your presence throughout this day, and I hope you feel mine. I'm thinking of you as I'm in my training. And today we are going to go through a lovely vinyasa style flow class, so keeping it moving, keeping the fluids moving, keeping that energy moving during the springtime season when we get stuck in our homes and feel bogged down. But hopefully this is a class that makes you feel invigorated, and if you do get the opportunity to be outside, I hope you can take that and be with nature. So our practice is going to be nature inspired, and I hope you enjoy it. Please excuse any other puppies or sounds or birds that you hear in the background. That's just the nature doing its work. So I also have my boyfriend Jakey. He is our model for class, and we'll just flow through this all together. Awesome. Well, we can start class in a child's pose. You can take feet together, knees apart, coming on through your knees, sending your hips back toward the heels, taking a moment to breathe, releasing the forehead down, sending the hips back, massaging the forehead side to side, maybe massaging the hips back toward the heels, shaking the tailbone. Beginning to lengthen your inhales, lengthening your exhales. Bringing your presence into this space, wherever you are. Noticing the sounds in your environment. And noticing your body breathing in and out. Noticing where you feel the breath in the chambers of the chest. Noticing if you feel the belly expanding deep into the navel, into the belly. Letting those inhales, those exhales lengthen a little bit more without controlling the breath, and just allowing it to flow a little bit more openly. And noticing the smells in the air, noticing the temperature in the room, the sensations on your skin. Letting go of the morning thus far, letting go of what's to come. Just finding presence in this space. Beginning with the words before all else, and cultivating a sense of gratitude for this day, for this practice. Calling to mind all of those things in your life that make your life worth living. Feeling grateful for the air, for the earth, for this community. When you're ready, you can shift yourself forward. We'll meet in tabletop pose. You can shift side to side between the hands, rocking back and forth. Shaking out the tailbone, rocking side to side. I'll be going through some of the movements with you. I'm off to the side. Just circling around through the hips, circling through the shoulders. We'll take a few rounds of cat-cow pose, taking the knees hips distance apart, palms flat on the floor, fingers spreading wide. As you inhale, reach the heart forward. Expansive breath in as you exhale, navel to spine, rounding through the shoulders, lowering the crown of the head. Inhaling to lift the gaze, lift the heart. Exhale to round. 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 Exhale And just take a few more rounds here, inhaling, finding that expansive breath in, exhaling, feeling the core engaging, bringing a little more heat into the body. Noticing where you feel it in the chambers of your chest, noticing where you feel a little bit more fluid, a little bit more open. Awesome job. And then again, meeting in that tabletop pose, we'll untuck the toes, sending the tailbone up and back. We'll meet in downward facing dog, paddling out through the feet, shaking the hips side to side, pedaling out through the feet, shaking out through the head, bending the knees, straightening the knees, feeling the shoulders opening wide, heels drawing toward the floor. Just taking a moment to breathe in that down dog. And when you're ready, you can walk the feet forward. We'll take a ragdoll pose. To the front of your mat, taking the feet the width of your mat, and maybe grabbing opposite elbow. Shaking the head side to side, maybe swaying the hips side to side. Feeling the backs of the legs lengthening out. If you want to take a bend in the knees, straighten through the knees, just bringing a little more energy through the legs. Maybe bobbing up and down through the spine. Feeling the inhales, the exhales. Still lengthen, still openness of the breath. And when you're ready, you can release the arms. You'll slowly rise up one vertebrae at a time. Feeling the backs of the legs engaging, shoulders to ears. Drawing the energy in and up. Exhale, release the shoulders, open it down. 2 more breaths. Inhale, shoulders lifting. Deep breath in. Exhale to let it out. 1 more round. Inhale. Create the shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, energy through the fingertips. On your next inhale, reach the palms high, long body stretch. You can grab one wrist and exhale, lean over to one side, guiding that wrist up and over. Inhale back to center, sending it up tall, opposite wrist, and exhale, lean to the other side. Feeling both feet rooting into the floor. Inhale, palms high, and exhale, cactus arms, gentle back bend, opening up through the chest. Inhale, reach the palms high, and we'll exhale, forward fold, hinging from the hips. Inhaling, taking your halfway lift, lengthening through the spine. Exhale, plant the hands, step the feet back. We'll meet in high plank pose and take a few rounds of breath here. You can pedal out through the feet, shaking the hips side to side. Building a little bit of heat through the core. If this is hard on the shoulders, on the wrists, you can always modify coming onto the elbows. And we'll just take some pulses with the heels forward and back, pulsing. Feeling the core kind of engaging, maybe noticing the quads firing up a little bit more. Maybe shaking the tailbone side to side. Kind of warming up through the obliques. Strong through the arms. Take a deep inhale. And exhale, lowering knees, chest, and chin to the floor. Coming into your inchworm shape. Inhale, reach the heart forward. Baby cobra pose. And exhale, you can send the hips back toward the heels, child's pose, and breathe. Couple deep breaths. Calling to mind an intention for your practice, what it is that brings you to your mat today. If it is cultivating that sense of gratitude, or maybe you have a dedication for your practice, someone or something outside yourself. When you're ready, when you've found the words for that intention, take a deep breath in, filling up through the belly, a deep breath out, emptying out through the lungs. Inhaling, we'll shift forward again, tabletop pose. Can untuck the toes, send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. And again, paddling out through the feet. Bending the knees, straightening the knees, and breathing. And when you're ready, walking the feet forward again. We'll take an inhale, halfway lift. Lengthen out through the spine. And exhale, forward fold, hinging at the hips. Inhaling, slowly rising up, one vertebrae at a time. Shoulders lifting, inhaling, palms high. And exhale, bring your hands back to your heart center. Remembering your intention for your practice. Inhale, palms high, long body stretch. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift, long spine. Exhale, plant the hands, step the feet back, high plank pose. Breathing here, strong arms, strong core. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin. Into that interim shape. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, hold our cobra here. As you inhale, gaze over to your right heel, kind of twisting up through the spine. Exhaling, back to center. Inhaling, twisting it up, looking to the left heel. Exhaling it back to center, cobra pose. Inhale, pressing up through the palms, king cobra, or your up dog if you extend through the legs. And exhale, send the hips up and back, meeting in downward facing dog. Breathing here for 5 breaths. Really pressing into the fingertips. Feeling the arms engaged, navel to spine. You maybe want to shake out through the shoulders, shake out through the head, letting that head, the neck lengthen out. And noticing the backs of the legs opening up. Engage through the legs, drawing the kneecaps up, engaging through the quads. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, bend the knees, look toward the hands. You can step or float the feet forward, your choice. Inhaling, halfway lifting, lengthening through the spine. Exhaling to fold over the legs. Inhale, palms high, root to rise, coming to stand. Arms overhead, long body stretch. Exhale, hands to heart center. Beautiful job. Well, inhale, flow through that sequence one more time. Palms high. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step the feet back, high plank pose. Breathe here, strong core, engaging through the legs. And from here, we'll take toe taps out to the side. So tapping right and left, side to side. Again, building up that heat, feeling that deep breaths of the inhales, deep breaths of the exhales. Take as many rounds of these toe taps as you like, and when you're ready to move on, bringing the feet together in that high plank pose, feeling the energy elongating from the crown of the head out through the heels, one long straight line. And then exhaling, chaturanga, halfway lower. Keep the elbows tucked in at the ribs. Inhale to upward facing dog, scooping the chest forward and up. Exhaling it up and back, downward facing dog. And breathe 5 more breaths here. If ever you need to rest in your child's pose, knowing that's always available to you at any time. And this downward facing dog is kind of still an active strengthening pose with the arms engaged, the legs engaged, navel drawing in and up. Letting that breath be that guide. Letting the movements flow with the breath. Where you feel that stagnation in the breath, letting the movements and the breath open up a little bit more through the body. And take one more inhale. And as you exhale, bend the knees, look toward the hands, step or float the feet forward. Inhale to halfway lift, long spine. Exhale and fold over the legs. Inhale, palms high, long body stretch. And exhale, hands to heart center. Beautiful job. We'll inhale, bend the knees, take the palms high, high chair pose. And as you exhale, we'll just bring the fingertips toward the floor, deepen into that chair. And then inhale, bring the fingertips up a little bit higher. And breathe in this chair pose, feeling the hips sinking down and back, hugging the ribs in. Beautiful job. Gaze is soft somewhere on the floor in front of you. If you want to feel that energy up through the fingertips, strong through the arms. If you need to modify, you can always bring the arms down at the hips or airplane the arms down and back. So just breathing in this chair pose wherever you're at. And take one more inhale, one more exhale. We'll inhale, bring the palms up and overhead. If they're not already there. Exhale through prayer, right elbow to left knee, twisting through the spine, finding that contact, and then pressing the palms together, maybe gazing up toward the ceiling, up toward the sky. Breathing in that chair pose, pressing the palms together, trying to keep both knees side by side, even weight between the feet. Taking one more inhale, one more exhale, deepening through that twist. Inhale, palms high again through that chair pose, finding strength through the legs. Exhale, opposite side. Left elbow to right knee, pressing the palms together, and maybe gazing up toward the sky, toward the ceiling. Breathing here, feeling it in the legs, feeling rooting through the feet. One more inhale, one more exhale. We'll inhale, release, bring the fingertips overhead, high chair pose. Exhale, straighten out through the legs, forward fold and release. And from here you can maybe bend one knee and the other, just shaking it out side to side. Kind of letting the head hang heavy and maybe painting the floor with the hands. Feeling that release through the legs. On your next inhale, take your halfway lift, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, plant the hands, step the feet back again into your high plank pose. Option to flow through your chaturanga halfway lower. Inhale to up dog, and exhaling up and back, downward facing dog, and breathing. Feeling the energy shift, feeling more vitalized, more energetic, more full of life. And then on your next exhale, bend the knees, look toward the hands. Step or float the feet forward. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale and fold. We'll inhale, palms high, long body stretch. Sending it up tall. And exhaling again, hands to heart center. Remembering that intention, just take a moment to breathe here, feeling the feet rooting into the floor. Breathing in this mountain pose. Feeling tall. Feeling the shoulders stacking over the hips over the ankles. Tall and strong like a mountain. We'll inhale, bring the palms high once more. Long body stretch. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, plant the hands. We'll just send the left toes back. So we're in a lunge with that right leg forward, and then you can bend that back knee to the floor. Inhale, scoop the chest forward and up, coming into your low lunge, your crescent lunge. Option to interlace the hands, extending through the index fingers, circling up through the ribs, circling the fingertips. Just feeling that openness through the hips. If you think the knee is going past the ankle here, maybe widening your stance, letting the hips draw forward. Take a deep inhale, and we'll exhale, twist to the right. Breathing here, twisting through the spine, gazing over the right fingertips. Taking one more inhale, one more exhale. We'll inhale back to center, reaching it up. And we'll exhale, plant the hands, framing that front foot and sending the hips back, straightening out through that front leg. Inhaling to bend, taking the gaze forward, finding that lunge, exhaling to straighten. Just back and forth movements, really gentle here through the hips. And letting the movement flow with the breath. Deep inhales, deep exhales. Maybe feeling that hamstring opening up a little bit more with each exhale. And if you're ready, you can hold in that half split with the front leg extended. bowing forward over that extended leg and breathing. From here, if you'd like more of a strength practice, you can kind of keep holding in this fold here. Option to take pulses with that front leg, hovering that front heel above the floor and pulsing up and down. If that's not in your practice and you just want to hold here, that's a wonderful shape just to relax and breathe. You can take one more inhale, one more exhale. Inhaling, we'll take a bend in that right leg, walking the hands forward. And then we'll untuck the back toes, extend through that back leg. And then lowering that back heel to the floor, we'll cartwheel the arms up into your warrior two. Right leg forward in that warrior two. Breathing, strength through the legs. Pressing into the pinky toe side of that back foot. Releasing the shoulders down from the ears. Gazing over the front fingertips. One more inhale, one more exhale. We'll inhale, reverse, front hand reaches up and back. And then exhaling, cartwheeling the arms back down to the floor. Framing that front foot, you can step it back. Option to flow, again through your high to low plank, chaturanga flow. Inhaling to up dog, exhaling down dog, or resting in that child's pose as you need to. And then on your next exhale, bend the knees, look toward the hands, step or float the feet forward. Inhaling to halfway lift. Exhaling and folding. Inhaling, palms high, long body stretch. Exhaling, hands to heart center. Calling to mind that intention for your practice. Inhaling, palms high. And exhale, forward fold. This time, planting the hands, sending the right foot back. And you can lower that back knee to the floor. Inhaling, palms high. Coming into this crescent lunge. Option to interlace the fingertips and circle the fingertips overhead. Feeling into that lunge shape, drawing the hips forward. Maybe you need to draw that front foot a little more forward. Allowing yourself to deepen into that lunge. Take a deep inhale. And then as you exhale, we'll twist over to the left. Breathing here. And twisting through the obliques. Gazing off the left fingertips. Feeling the lungs opening up. Feeling the core lighting up. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. Inhaling, palms high, facing the front. And exhaling, planting the hands, sending the hips back, straightening out through that front leg, through that half split, sending the hips back as you straighten. Inhaling to bend, gaze forward. Exhaling to straighten and lengthen out. So just take a few rounds rocking forward and back with the inhales. Feeling the breath lengthening on the inhales, feeling the breath lengthening on the exhales. If you feel the knee going past the ankle, you can always widen that stance, drawing that left foot a little more forward. And if you're ready to hold, just holding in that half split with the leg extended. Deep hamstring stretch on the left side. Again, for a strength practice, you can have that left leg extended and maybe taking pulses with the foot. Otherwise, again, just relaxing in that half split and breathing. Letting the spine lengthen, letting the crown of the head relax forward. You can take one more inhale, one more exhale. Bending that front knee, walking the hands forward. And then extending through that back leg. Lowering that back heel to the floor, and we'll cartwheel the arms up into your warrior two. Gazing over the front fingertips. Gaze is soft, feeling that strength through the legs, pressing into the pinky toe side of that back foot. Shoulders releasing down, away from the ears, navel to spine, drawing that tailbone down. Feeling lifted up tall through the crown of the head, embodying that inner warrior. Breathe and take. On your next inhale, reaching the left fingertips up and back, reversing your warrior. And exhaling to cartwheel the arms back down to the floor. Gazing forward on the inhale, option to flow, stepping it back, chaturanga on the exhale, inhale to up dog, and exhaling down dog or child's pose and breathing. On your next inhale, meeting back in that down dog, sending the right toes high. And we'll exhale through high plank pose, bringing the knee to the nose, engaging through the core. Inhale, right toes high. Exhale, knee to nose. One more time, inhale. Exhale, planting that right foot between the hands. We'll take the gaze forward and we'll straighten out through that front leg. Coming into your pyramid pose, lowering that back heel to the floor, and then folding over that right leg. So both hands are planted, framing that front foot, and if you have that front knee bent, totally, triangle, pyramid pose with both hands. You can keep a bend in this front leg, so the hands can touch the floor. Keep a bend here. There you go. Letting the head roll down. Do you feel it back here? Mm-hmm. Okay. Can you widen your stance? There we go. Nice. There we go. And breathing here in this triangle, pyramid pose. Maybe you'll find that with every inhale, every exhale, you can feel that front leg lengthening, maybe straightening out a little bit more with each breath. And then from here, we'll transition into that triangle pose. Drawing that front hip back. That right hip is drawing back. Left fingertips up toward the ceiling. Soft on that bottom hand. For more strength, you can interlace the hands overhead. Keeping a micro bend in that front leg. Finding that stability in your triangle pose. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. And then we'll inhale, gazing up toward the ceiling if you aren't already there. And then as you exhale, bringing that top hand down to your side, gazing down to the floor. Inhaling, fingers lift, gazing up toward the fingertips. Finding length through the side body. Exhaling, fingertips lowering back down to your side. Gazing back down to the mat. Inhale, lift it up. Exhaling, hand lowers back down. So just noticing inhaling. Exhaling, noticing the sensations in the body through these movements as you match the breath with the movement. And your next inhale with the fingertips lifted, gazing up toward the fingertips. And we'll exhale, release that top hand, framing the front foot. Inhaling to gaze forward. Exhaling, planting the hands, step the feet back. Option to flow through that chaturanga sequence. If chaturanga is not in your practice, or you rather skip the yoga push-up, again, that's totally optional. Just finding what works for you in your practice. Breathing here. If you need to rest in your child's pose, you're welcome to. And when you're ready, meeting back in that down dog, we'll inhale, send the left toes high. Exhale, knee to nose, engaging through the core. Inhale, left toes high. Exhale, knee to nose. One more time, inhale, left toes high. Exhale, knee to nose. You can lower that left foot between the hands. And then cartwheeling, straightening out through that front leg into your pyramid pose and breathing here. If you need to bend and straighten, just finding that comfortable stance with the leg, finding what works for you, letting that spine release over the leg, maybe noticing that front leg straightening a little bit more. With each breath. Deep inhales, deep exhales. And when you're ready, opening it up into your triangle, reaching, flip the right arm up toward the ceiling. Weight is soft on that bottom hand. Drawing that front hip back, kind of squaring the hips toward the front and just finding that rotation through the spine. Gazing up toward the top fingertips. Feeling the chest opening up. And if it's comfortable for balance, maybe gazing up toward the top fingertips. So take a deep inhale. As you exhale, lowering that top hand back down at your side, gaze is going down to the floor. Inhaling, palm lifts it up toward the fingertips. Exhaling, fingertips back down to your sides, kind of grazing down to your back hip. Inhaling, palm lifts. And exhaling, palm lowers, gaze lowers. Take a few rounds here, inhaling. Opening it up, exhaling. Just noticing sensations in the body as you inhale, as you exhale. Still feeling that stability through the legs. That stability of flowing breath. And that last round again with the fingertips high, taking that deep inhale. We'll exhale, release that top hand, framing that front foot, taking a bend in that front knee. Inhaling to gaze forward. Exhaling, planting the hands, step it back. Option to flow through your high to low plank. Chaturanga, up dog, and exhaling, down dog. Awesome job. You can slowly walk the feet forward. We're going to take some balancing exercises. So coming to the top of your mat, maybe slowly rising up. All the way to stand. Shake out through the legs, shake out through the arms. We're going to come into our tree pose. And when you're ready, rooting through the right foot. Taking that left foot to the ankle, inside of the calf, inside of the thigh. Finding that groundedness through the right foot, tall up through the sitting bones, tall through the hips. You can bring your hands on the hips or at prayer. Breathing into that tree pose. Option to extend through the arms, growing the branches of your tree. Fullest breaths here. Knowing that it's okay to fall. It's okay to lose your balance. Knowing that Earth is supporting you. It will be there to catch you. If you want to open up more through the chest in that tree pose, maybe open up the arms. Letting that body breathe. Take one more inhale. And as you exhale, bring the hands back to your heart center. Finding that tree still rooting through that right leg. And then left foot reaches back into your warrior three. Option to airplane the arms back. Finding that balancing pose on that front leg. Breathing here. finding a single focal point on the floor. Take one more inhale, sending that left heel up and back, reaching it up a little bit higher, and exhaling to release it down. You can take a forward fold in your ragdoll pose. Taking both feet back to the floor, shaking it out side to side, maybe finding gentle bend in the knees, hopping up and down through the spine, through the legs, through the hips. When you're ready, slowly rising back up to stand, shaking out through the legs, shaking out through the arms, and then rooting through that left foot, setting that foundation through that left foot, feeling the toes spreading, and then bringing the right foot to the inside of the ankle, inside of the calf, inside of the thigh, your choice. Just avoiding the knee. And you can bring your hands to your heart center. Maybe come bringing the hands to the hips. Option to grow the branches of your tree, extending through the arms. Maybe opening up more through the chest. Maybe swaying side to side, maybe feeling that loss of balance, knowing that's totally fine. You can always return back into whatever shape you like, either calf, ankle, thigh. Pressing the foot into the leg, leg into the foot, and again lifting up through the hips, through the pelvic floor, navel to spine. Deep breaths here. And take one more inhale. As you exhale, bring the hands back into prayer at your heart center. You can send the right foot back and then maybe airplane the arms into your warrior three. Balancing on that front leg. Feeling the gaze, feeling that neck long. Take one more inhale. And exhale, you can release that foot down, alongside the front foot, that grounded foot. Shake out in your ragdoll pose. Shake out through the head, the spine. Take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, we'll sink it down into our malasana squat, our yogi squat. You can take the feet wide, the width of the mat. Sending the hips down. Maybe swaying side to side. If you have a block, you'd like to sit the block underneath the sitting bones, underneath the tailbone, that's great. Just trying to keep the heels flat on the floor as best you can. Breathing in that yogi squat at the top of your mat. Feeling what's happening in through the hips, through the low back. Maybe pressing the palms together, elbows to the insides of the thighs, pressing the knees apart. Still allowing that breath to flow evenly here, flowing smoothly, like the waves of the ocean in and out. A challenging position to hold. It was one that we're not used to taking every day, but it's one that's really great for stabilizing through the hips, the legs. When you're ready to move on, we'll meet with the legs extended in our seat. Taking the legs forward, can flex the toes, pointing the toes and flexing the toes, maybe circling out through the ankles. Finding our Dandasana staff pose, drawing the heels down into the mat, maybe finding that micro bend in the knees, drawing the legs, the hips back into their sockets, feeling that engagement through the legs, maybe spreading the sitting bones wide. And we'll inhale, bring the palms high, extending up through the fingertips like an extension of the spine. Navel to spine as you send it up. So you'll feel some core engagement here. You maybe feel the legs strengthening in the thighs. Take a deep inhale and exhale, micro tilt forward. Fingertips still reaching forward and up. Inhale and exhale, micro tilt a little bit more. One more time, inhale, reach, reach, reach. And exhale, releasing all the way forward. You can bring the fingertips down anywhere alongside the legs and letting the crown of the head bow forward. Breathing here in this forward fold. Without feeling the need to reach, without feeling the need to do more. Letting this be a time for the body to relax and release and fold. Knowing wherever you're at is exactly where you're meant to be. And take one more inhale, one more exhale. Slowly rising back up through seated. We'll take the right foot to the inside of the left thigh. Again, kind of like that tree pose. And then we'll take that left hand to the right knee, crossing it to the opposite knee. Right fingertips up toward the ceiling. And exhaling, right fingertips up and reaching up and over toward the toes. Maybe they touch the toes, or maybe they just that arm just kind of floats overhead. Breathing in this shape. Feeling that right side of the body lengthening. And maybe feeling that left hamstring lengthening. And if you do have that hand on the knee, pressing into the knee so you can twist a little bit more through the spine. And maybe gazing underneath that right armpit up toward the ceiling or toward the sky. Fullest breaths here. Filling up with that gratitude for this day, for this breath. And slowly rising back up through seated. And we'll take a quarter turn toward that extended leg. Inhaling, reaching up tall through the fingertips, so squaring the hips. And then exhaling, walking the fingertips toward the foot, bowing the crown of the head forward, nose to knee, Janu Shirshasana. Breathing here, letting that spine lengthen, letting the back of the leg lengthen and release. And when you're ready, slowly rising back up through seated. Coming into our wild thing pose, taking the right hand behind the sitting bones, sending the left fingertips up, sending the hips up. And then opening up through that top arm, maybe circling out that top arm. Finding the hips opening up. Deep inhales, deep exhales, circling that top arm or just fine, letting it hang open and breathe. And when you're ready, you can bring both knees back together to touch if you want to meet in child's pose. You can walk the hands forward, option to flow through one more chaturanga sequence if you wish. Otherwise, just take that moment to breathe. And when you're ready, coming back up through seated, we'll meet with the right leg extended. Left foot to the inside of the thigh. Taking that quarter turn toward that extended right leg, we'll inhale, reach up tall. Taking the right hand to the left knee and twisting to the side. Left fingertips reaching up and over. And breathing here. Maybe you are looking for a deeper twist, really pressing that right hand into the left knee. Turning those shoulders up toward the ceiling, maybe gazing underneath that armpit. Breathing into the twist, lengthening through that left side. You can take one more inhale. As you exhale, release that top hand, framing the front foot, and then walking the fingertips forward, forward folding over that right leg. Noticing the sounds of the breath, like the waves of the ocean. And when you're ready to come back up through seated, you can plant that left hand behind you, sending the hips up, reaching the right fingertips up toward the ceiling, coming into that wild thing. Sending the hips up, maybe circling out through that top arm. Maybe feeling that engagement through the glutes as you send the hips up, up, up. Opening up through the chest. And when you're ready, we'll meet on our backs with the knees pointed up toward the ceiling, feet flat on the floor. So knees are tented up. Fingertips down at your sides, extended toward the heels. Flow through a few rounds of dynamic bridge pose on your next inhale, sending the arms overhead, sending the hips up. Exhaling to lower it down and releasing. Inhaling to lift, sending it up. Exhaling to lower it down. Couple more rounds, just matching the movement with your own breath. And then the next time you have the hips lifted, holding the hips up but letting the breath flow, can circle the arms around, drawing the fingertips again toward the heels, both heels flat on the floor, drawing the knees toward one another, engaging through the inner thighs, feeling the legs, the glutes engaged, feet pressing to the floor, and then isometrically engaging through the backs of the legs, drawing the feet toward the glutes. Maybe the hips lift a little bit more. You want to press the elbows down into the mat, fingers, tips pointing up toward the ceiling. Drawing the elbows down, down, down. Breathing here. Sending the hips up, one more inhale, strong through the legs. And exhale, release it down. Releasing the hips, releasing the hands. You can rock the knees gently side to side. A couple options here for this next sequence. If you want to take that bridge pose once more, you're welcome to. If you have full wheel in your practice, you're welcome to take that as well. And that's with the fingertips pointing toward the shoulders, palms pressing into the floor right next to the ears, elbows drawing together, and when you're ready to inhale, pressing up through the arms, through your full wheel, sending the hips up, and breathing in that bridge pose. Strong through the arms, through the legs, feeling that chest, that heart opening up. can take one more inhale and exhale to release it back down to the floor. And then rocking the knees gently side to side. And the next time the knees fall to the right, letting them stay there. Feeling that gentle twist through the spine. Option to take the arms out in a T shape. And gazing over the left fingertips. Option to take that right ankle on top of the left knee to deepen. And breathe. Taking one more inhale. One more exhale, I can release that cross of the legs. And then bringing the knees to the left. Maybe gazing over the right fingertips. Option to take that left ankle on top of the right knee. Breathing into that spinal twist. Letting the body shift into that parasympathetic rest and digest mode, knowing there's nothing to do except breathe in this shape. And when you feel the mind wandering to your next to-do list, you feel the mind wandering to anything in the past, just bringing that back to the breath. The inhales, the exhales. And when you're ready, releasing that cross of the legs. You can take any final movements you'd like to finish off your practice. Maybe that's hugging the knees toward the chest in a happy baby pose. Maybe that's rocking side to side on your back. Rocking along the length of the spine. If you're ready to rest in that final Shavasana pose, releasing, extending through the legs, shaking out through the feet, shaking out through the legs, shaking out through the backs of the hands, the arms, the shoulders, the head, allowing the body to come to stillness. Allowing the whole body to rest. And feeling the rise and fall of the belly. And cultivating a sense of gratitude for this time to practice, for this loving community, and for friends, for family, for health, for all of the support that you have. Even for the tiniest bugs, supporting this ecosystem. It may sometimes seem very fragile. Knowing that there is a power within that fragility. gratitude, cultivating in your heart space, in the center of your chest. Noticing the breath becoming more and more shallow. Noticing the body melting, relaxing into the mat. Feeling that intention for your practice, cultivating with a sense of gratitude. Feeling that wisdom, that inner strength. That sense of knowing and knowing that you know. Just feeling the body breathing. Breathing on this earth. Feeling the breath. Breathing as one with this planet. When you're ready to continue on with your day, and bring awareness back into your body. Bring movements back into your fingers, your toes. Beginning to lengthen your inhales, lengthen your exhales. Clenching the hands, releasing the hands. Clenching the toes, releasing the toes. Taking a long body stretch, extending through the arms, extending through the legs. When you're ready, rolling onto your right side, coming into your fetal position, resting on your side. You're welcome to continue resting in the Shavasana, this corpse pose, for as long as you'd like. If you're ready to press yourself back up to seated, continuing with your day, bring your hands to your heart center, gently lowering your chin, sending out gratitude for this practice, for this day, for this health. Bring your hands to your space between the eyebrows for wisdom, for knowledge. Bringing the hands to your lips for kind words. Hands back down to your heart for kind actions, kind intentions. Thank you all for joining me The light in me salutes the light in each and every one of you. Namaste. Thank you guys for practicing with me today. It's so lovely to be out here in nature. I hope you are well. I hope you are safe. And I hope to hear from you guys again soon. I'll be back live next week on Saturday, again at 11. And thank you for all of your donations for class. It really helps us support our startup, Santai Wellness, as it gets off of the ground. We are still in the process of opening, hopefully at the end of the summer or fall. And we'll keep you guys updated. And for now, thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope to see you again soon.